wish I had 3 more. If I had just 3 more wishes, I'd live 3 times or more. If I saw a shooting star, I wish I saw 3 more. If I had just 3 more wishes, I'd live 3 times or 4. You cannot belittle me, for I am the black cloud that is perched over your head, following you around. If I had a coin to throw in the well, I wish I had 3 more. If I had just 3 more wishes, I'd live 3 times or more. If I saw a shooting star, I wish I saw 3 more. If I had just 3 more wishes, I'd live 3 times or 4. Sometimes in life we all gotta rise up when we hear them sirens calling out. So find your calling, find whatever makes you happy and do it twice, that's my advice. If I had a coin to throw in the well, I wish I had 3 more. If I had just 3 more wishes, I'd live 3 times or more. If I saw a shooting star, I wish I saw 3 more. If I had just 3 more wishes, I'd live 3 times or 4. Live 3 times or 4.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What happened was we started to get played on this Radio 1 show. It was called The Punk Show, or The Lockup at the time. And it was on a Monday night. It was between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. So it was like the only people listening were kind of people coming down off speed and like lorry drivers. It wasn't like an instant road to success. But what it did allow us to do was go to the Radio 1 Big Weekend. Do you know the Radio 1 Big Weekend? Yeah, fucking shit, right? Like, just awful, like soul crushing. But we put our dignity aside, as I so often do, and we went along to do it. And it was weird because in like the catering when we got there, I remember I was like sitting next to Girls Aloud eating some cereal, and like Tim Westwood was behind me having some chocolate cake. Like the big dog loves a bit of gatto, apparently. It was like our first time in this sort of mainstream world. And so anyway, when we were there, we were warming up with a cover backstage. We did a cover of Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. And Jo Wiley saw it and she loved it. And she ended up putting us on her show, and then Zane Lowe started playing us. And before we knew it, we were kind of getting played on Radio 1 in the daytime. And you might think that DJs pick whatever music they want to play, but they don't at all. They have like a playlist and they have to play stuff. That's why you hear the same shit all the time, like over and over again. And so we ended up getting on the playlist, and people like Chris Moyles had to really reluctantly play us. That was quite a nice feeling. And what's the one who does the breakfast show? Nick Grimshaw, yeah, he fucking hated us, man. But he had to play us. It was sweet. So anyway, going back a little bit, right? What happened was back in the day, all our friends pretty much were all in punk bands because we were all just fucking punk kids, not really knowing what to do with each other. And so we used to put on little gigs, and you know, all our friends ended up being in bands. And every time any of us would get a new phone, it was before like an iPhone. So we'd get like a 3210 or like some flip phone or like we thought it was the shit. But whenever any one of us would get it, we'd call up our friends in bands. I was particularly good at it. We got like Cap Down, we got Mouthwash, like fucking all of them, man. And I would pretend that I was from a magazine, and I needed to interview them there and then. And the questions, I was from like Safety Pin magazine. He used to say, hello, this is Safety Pin magazine, Australia's #1 punk rock mag. And it would start off with normal questions like, oh, how did you get your name? When did you guys form? But it would get more and more ridiculous, because the wonderful thing with musicians is there's just always this little bit of ego where they're like, man, this might be legit. I don't really want to piss anyone off. So we'd end up being like, so your name's Cap Down, like capitalist downfall. Has there ever been any anarchy at your gigs, or is that just a buzzword? And they obviously have to, like, you know, answer us seriously. And so the reason I'm telling you this is that I was in a job centre one time waiting for my turn to sign on, and my phone started going, and it was a number I didn't recognise. And do you remember a band called Faithless? So on the other end of the line, I just hear this guy go, hi, this is Rollo from Faithless. Island Records are giving us our own label. We love you guys. We really want the King Blues to be the first signing. I was like, this is one of my mates, fuck off. And hung up on him about 3 times, and then I looked it up and was like, oh shit, this guy's legit. So I eventually answered his calls. We went into a meeting, and we ended up signing to this offshoot of Island Records. It was very strange for us, but they were cool. They you know, I still get on with them. They let us like spend our money on doing on putting out anti-war posters and stuff. You know, we formed at a time when Tony Blair was in power, and there was just a threat of us going to war with Iraq. By the time the second album came around, we were a war generation, and not many people were really talking about it, like in the mainstream arts, I guess. And so we were kind of a bit of an anomaly like that. They allowed us to spend our poster budget on, like, we wrote, you know, open letters and we put out these anti-war messages, and it was a good time. Like, I'm glad that we did it. But yeah, like I say, it also allowed us to get played on Radio 1 and get a little more popular. So we did an album called Save the World, Get the Girl. Does anyone hear that? Good. Thank you to both of you who bought it. We initially recorded it, like, we spent all the label's money on this fucking really expensive producer who was amazing, but just totally wrong for us, because we're like kids who didn't know what the fuck we were doing. And he was going, oh, do you like the tone of this amp? And we're like, the on button works, let's go. And it sounded really shit. And I said after the first stage to the label, look, this is rubbish, I want out of here. And they kind of bullied me into staying. So eventually we spunked like all the money on this. And I said at the end, I said, just give me £1,000, which was like a 16th of what they've been paying for this fucking stupid record. And we went and recorded it back with my mate again. And that's the album that you hear. The fucking expensive one you'll never hear because it sounds like shit. But this one was off of it. It sounds like the last one, doesn't it? Because it's the same chords. What you're going to see tonight is, because there's not like a band behind me, it's all stripped down, and you're going to notice they're all the fucking same. Like, really, the lyrics change, but musically, I don't really give a shit about it. I'll sweat over the lyrics. Other than that, I don't really care. It's all G, E minor, C, D, or a combination of that. If you ever want to work out a King Blues song, or write your own. The wonderful thing about chord structures is you can nick them off people and keep all the money. It's fucking... The day I learned that was the day that I started writing everything in G minor, C, D. So you don't even know what song it's going to be. It could be any of them. You're like, I like this one. I don't know. It could be literally any of our songs. With a red scrunchie for her birthday gift, she scraped her hair into a coil and facelift. Punch drunk love a sweet 16. She found a ride to Gretna Green, leaving something old for somewhere new to be with someone bright, black and blue. She turns out her light with a song to sing, grabs her shoulder bag and an Argos ring. And she says, without a penny in my pocket, well, I'm out a lot in this kind of town, but I got you right by my side, so I won't let them
won't let them drag me down. No, I won't let them drag me down. No. He turned from Jack the Lad into Jack the Dad. Man, his heart was pure, but the town was bad. He had a broken heart from a broken home. She heard his breaking voice through a broken phone. He said, for you, girl, I'd walk a Swedish mile, for a Glasgow kiss and a Chelsea smile. So he drove till it was morning light. The birds were singing to sleep tonight. And he says, without a penny in my pocket, well, I'm out a lot in this kind of town. But I got you right by my side, so I won't let them no, I won't let them. No, I won't let them drag me down. No, I won't let them drag me down. No, I won't let them drag me down. No, I won't let the bastards drag me down.